Stars in the sky, cards in my hand.
So, good morning. I needed my extra sip of coffee there if you just saw that flash. Oh, how is everybody? I hope you've started out the day, at least with the breath. I hope everything's going well. Good morning, Maureen. Oh, man, I got to get back to going to bed early. You all should have seen me just 60 seconds before I sat down. But here I am, and here's that habit that if nothing else that I've formed where I know that I'm going to stop and take a breath. This will be the first breath I've taken this morning. So, I hope everybody again is having that amazing day so far. I was out last night. I was at Lune Metaphysical. I was busy there last night. And have you ever worked with the Solobuska? Yes. Where are you at? I've got it sitting, should be sitting with all my, it should be sitting with my other decks. Where do I have you at? I'm not a big fan of it for reading tarot, though. It's a beautiful, I mean, it is a beautiful deck. It's, for people who don't know, the Solobuska she's asking about, it's a historical deck. It's one of the first decks that ever had the pip cards with pictures on them. Instead of just being swords or cups or coins, it actually has pips that are represented by figures. And if you look at the Solobuska, you can see that the 10 of Wands looks a lot like the one that's in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And you can tell that that's where she got the 3 of Swords, because the 3 of Swords in that deck was actually at the British Museum when Pamela Coleman Smith was making our famous Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So yeah, the Solobuska is just a beautiful deck. I have a bunch of historical decks right here, and I'm wondering what I did with my Solobuska. Silly me. So, taking that breath. Feet flat on the floor, butt comfortable in the seat, shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed. And again, taking that breath. So, I am grateful to have an excuse to take that breath, because otherwise I would still be scrambling, trying to get to work, blah, blah, blah. So, thank you for giving me an excuse. Thank you, Maureen, for giving me an excuse to come in here. So let's see what the universe has for us. As I like to say, the universe holds up a mirror and asks us, what do we see? And we use the tarot as that reflection. Something to just give us something to think about for the day. All that wonderful stuff. So, what am I going to do here? I'm going to do what I normally do, and I'm going to make our 3 stacks. It's like each one of these is a different thread going out to the universe. It's like each one of these is a different thought or idea. And if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path, because this stack will lead down one path, this down a different path, and this one right here is a whole different conversation. And today I'm going to take the center stack, or as I like to tell people, what I think of as the heart, right at the center. Oh, that's awesome. So thank you, Maureen. Who's your daughter? She should say hi. So I'm going to lay out our 3 stacks. I'm going to lay out our 3. I'm going to put out our cards again. I'm going to do the 3-in-1 like I always do. So, Maureen, I really do like all things Canada. So this is probably considered like a semi-crass show. But I am absolutely infatuated with Letterkenny. I'm like in the 5th season of that. And that's like rural Canada. I want to say Canada. But, so, shoulders relaxed. Now I'm going to flip each card over one at a time like we are reading the pages of a book. Good morning, Angelina. So, flipping over the first card, we have the Moon. So, it was interesting. So, just recently I was reading for an older gentleman, and there was this connection that I felt when the moon came up. The moon was reversed, and we were talking about what the moon is and how we can all kind of relate to. Well, I always describe the moon as like you're walking through a woods, you're about to go in, it's twilight, it's getting dark, and you see a shadow over to the left. And you're asking yourself, is that a dog or a wolf or something that could attack me, or is it just a log? And it's where we have to trust our intuition. We say, you know what, I'm not afraid of this. I know that's just a log. Where when we're not trusting ourselves, when we're not listening, we might say, you know what, I'll wait till it's daylight. Because in daylight, you'll see it's just a log. But it's that hesitation to move forward. It's that fear that we have to walk underneath the moon and keep following a path instead of just turning around. So the next card, you'll find this in the Solabuska, just like we were talking about, except they're sheathed. So it's the Three of Hearts. So Pamela Coleman Smith, when she saw this Three of Hearts in the National Museum, she copied that down and she made her Three of Hearts this way. But to take into consideration, swords are what? Swords are the element of air, their thoughts, their ideas, there are anxieties. And so she puts this heart in here. And so we try and read the cards based on what we have. But the main thing is that this is still a card of intellect. Threes are a card of growth and change. So when you have one sword, it's like planting that seed. Two, we're making our choices. And then three is when something kind of breaks that stalemate, and it can cause an anxiety. I just like to point out that it's like one of those things where if you don't make a decision, something's going to make that decision for you. But it's that sense that things might be out of our control, or things didn't go our way. And again, since she has this heart here, it can also cause those feelings of, anxiety, and you can feel it on a deeper level. So we have the Moon card, then we have the Three of Swords. So we need to see where the story goes. Did we not go through the Moon card? Did we wait too long? Okay, we have the Three of Swords balanced out by the Empress. And who is the Empress? Well, the Emperor is the one that... The Emperor is the one who takes charge of everything, makes sure he goes to war, he does all that stuff, things like, and has all that masculine energy. He's all that Aries astrology, he's got rams on his throne and things like that. But the Empress, she is the mother of the kingdom. She's the one that makes sure that the people are taken care of. She's the one that makes sure that that the heart of the kingdom stays beating. She's that earth mother. So we have our anxieties, and we have things that we want to do, but we have places to go and things we want to do, but for whatever reason, we may not be able to. And it's not easy when we can't do that. Sometimes we need something that we could trust, or we need like a home base. We need something that makes us feel comfortable. And that's kind of what the Empress is that comfort. But I'm going to turn over the advice card, which is the Ace of Cups. So the Moon card is walking through our fears. The Moon card is doing it anyway. And sometimes we may not like that choice. But this is a spread also of strength. And with the heart and with the Three of Swords right here, it's that tough decision. It's two swords and then making that tough decision. A decision that comes from the heart. Good morning, Devies. I'm doing pretty good. But there's things that we should do and that we have to do. And the Empress is the one that's going to give us consolation and give us and console us. So if there's like something that we need to do, it's a choice we need to make, and maybe there's this shadow that we need to walk through. It could be finances, it could be something with our family, it could be home, but it's a decision that we need to make. And it's an important decision. Maybe it's something we've been holding off. But like I say with the Three of Swords, it's one of those things where if I don't make the decision, something will make the decision for me. But at the end of the day, because of the Empress, we know that it's the right thing. And we know that because with the advice card being the Ace of Cups. And aces are the element of water. They are our spirituality. They are our feelings and our emotions. And this ace is a seed. Sometimes we need to make those tough decisions so that that seed can be planted in a fertile soil. We need to allow ourselves to do what we have to do, even if there's fear involved. You know, maybe it's something like I have to sell my house or I need a new car. You know, it's about making that choice. Do I have the money? What do I need to do? But just knowing that because we have the Empress here, that we're just planting that seed. So, you know, there's a couple decisions that are going on right now in my life. And I know that it's correct. It's like one way or the other, the decision has to be made. But if we take our time, we ask the universe, and we think of it like, am I planting a seed that's going to be fruitful like the Ace of Cups? Then the way she's staring right forward at us, one of the few cards that actually stare face forward at us, then we know we're doing it for the right reason. So if we have that decision, can we trust that we're doing it for the right reason and we're planting that seed? Then we need to just walk through that fear. And there's plenty of worries going on in the world right now. Even with all the worries going on in the world, instead of, you know, as a matter of fact, if you look at the news, this is the path that we're traveling anyway. But we don't want the news to change who we are deep down inside, right? We still need to make those right decisions, not based on fear. So with that, I hope everybody has that amazing day. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you have that amazing evening or afternoon. And with that, I am going to be here again tomorrow. You are so very welcome. Take care, everybody.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures guiding light, readers and seekers in the night, hopes and fears